I'm trying to decide between two central characters to be the symbolic and emotional core of my story, and both have strong arcs of redemption, spirituality, and mythic power. The first is Metatron, a character who started out as an ordinary man, but went through an intense trajectory of rise, fall, and redemption. After countless mistakes, losses, and learning, he was elevated to the heavens and became the supreme archangel with power over light and darkness, directly serving the creator as a bridge between the divine and the earthly. He's basically some sort of celestial Superman, LOL. The second is an authorial version of Dracula from VHD, Vampire Hunter D. In this universe, he is not only the first vampire, but an entity that has existed before creation. A seemingly angelic figure who fell out of pride or love or choice and created the nobles/vampires. But even though he has walked paths of darkness for millennia, he deeply regrets and sacrifices himself for his children and the world. His redemption is emotional, ancestral, linked to pain and memory. It is dark, melancholic, and powerful, a symbol of the soul that, even marked by darkness, can still shine. In short, he is the vampire king, but he is also a kind of fallen archangel who has existed since before time and space, but after eons, he finally repented of his actions and redeemed himself with humanity. Being the first vampire, in his case, was a consequence of his expulsion from heaven. TLDR, for my benefit and yours, my answer is going to be the vampire, because it very much seems that based on the amount of depth and backstory and the character arc that the poster has set up for the vampire character, it seems like that would be, number one, the more interesting character to follow. And it also seems like that might be the one that they really want to write about. But they also have this other really cool character, Metatron, who has a cool backstory, and they really like, kind of what they were doing for that character, the angel character. But there's just not enough development of this character to make them an interesting main character at this point. They could be like, there's always a way, you know what I'm saying? But right now, if it's just as it's written, Metatron the angel seems like a side character or perhaps an antagonist in the vampire's story. But that's just my opinion. Based on what's written here. Now, do I think Metatron could be interesting? Would I like to read a story about this particular type of human guy who rose to the rank of being an angel? I think that could be very interesting. But based on what we have here, it's gonna be the vampire for me. What do you think, though?